start streaming, and we'll see. And let me see. It says receiving. It says we are live. Welcome back to Enzone. My guest tonight is Charles Anthony, the Closet Medium.
Aren't I such a butthole for making you change that name?
No, you're not. I mean, I completely understand. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
yeah.
That, you know, I felt bad because, I mean, in this, what we do, people that don't understand it, I mean, it's we get ridiculed no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we even talked about para-unity before, and we get ridiculed by the people that we work alongside as well. So,
which is wrong.
It is.
We should be able to do, you know what I mean, these things, but it's I kind of call it the political butthurt. You know what I'm saying? The political butthurt spectrum.
Yep.
Which you know, everybody's a critic. You know,
oh, yeah.
Everybody's doing that sort of stuff. By the way, I am sharing this now.
Do it.
All my facets, my brother.
Yes.
So we will see what happens.
I'm excited.
Okay. Here.
But yeah, it's just.
I don't want to interrupt you, man. I'm so used to doing podcasting.
I know.
That sometimes I interrupt, so sometimes you got to tell me to shut up.
No, you're fine. That's why I have you on. I mean, you're gonna be my anchor tonight. But no, yeah. I mean, especially when you're in your day job. Like, I mean, my day job, I work at a shop where we repair rail cars. So you know, work with guys that are in there, hardworking guys, and I haven't got a whole lot of ridicule. They're more inquisitive about what I do than anything. And there's, of course, guys being guys, they crack jokes every once in a while and just stuff like that, you know. The biggest one is, I want to go with you. You know, they always want to go with me. I'm like, it's really not as exciting as you think. I mean, when stuff happens, yeah, it's a big rush, or you get what you're looking for. But, you know, too many times have I taken people who just think it's all fun and games, and they get there in the first 10, 15 minutes, they're like, when's the ghost come out? What are we going to do now? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna sit here for 5 hours and explore and sit in the dark and try to communicate. And then they never want to come back again, which is fine. So,
well, you know, in investigations
mm-hmm.
are somewhat boring. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and they are. I mean, you sit there for the entire night, evening, or however long for the couple seconds of, you know, evidence or contact, or however you might, you know, depending on how sensitive you are. I mean, you know, you yourself might have more of a reaction to a location or to the spirits than, you know, Joe Blow off the street or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I've got some samples, you know, that we could play on here of stuff that I've got. You game?
Oh yeah, I'm game. I'm totally game.
Let me bring it up.
Bring some of that stuff up.
And we'll make sure that the sound's good for you. Okay, so I gotta look here. Okay, so this here is, where the hell's the good one? Okay, listen to this in its entirety. Can you hear it okay? All right, does your name begin with an A? It gets a little busier like the last 15 seconds. Can you give me the first 2 letters of your name? Here it comes. Is that you making me feel cold? Jesus Christ is protecting me. You know that, right? Now, if you listen to that in its entirety at the end, after I say Jesus Christ is protecting me, get plain as a day, my friend. Jesus ain't happening. F off.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! I got chills on that one.
I mean, it was, and all it was like a little white noise generator and EVP, and
Yeah.
that stuff happened. I got to give a shout out to Darlene Morehouse. I really appreciate that, buddy. She says you're awesome, Charles Anthony. I appreciate that to no ends. And there's just a lot of things that have went on, and we can talk about them a little bit later because I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I don't want to be Debbie Downer. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of changes happening for me, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them were a shock for a lot of people because I've been doing this podcasting for a long time.
Exactly.
And when you pull the plug on something like that, it is a surprise, but it is a step in the positive direction.
Yeah.
I can do more of this, like with you guys.
Exactly. I mean, just because there's a mix-up, I mean, we said we don't have to go into full detail. I mean, you can divulge anything you want to, but I mean, you can't look at it as a negative light. 'Cause if you look at it in a negative light, it's going to turn into a negative thing.
Yeah.
Look at it for what it is. Even though you're stepping away from that aspect of it, you're going to gain more time with, family, branching out in different directions. You might not necessarily, you might be reaching in those directions, but now you're going to have a further reach to go into those other directions as well. Help out different groups, meet in different groups. You've already have your brand, I guess you could say, on your podcast and your channels. And doing things like this, coming on mine or somebody else, I mean, your followers are there for a reason. They love you, and they're going to go to wherever you're at. And they're still going to get your message. They're still going to talk to you. They're still going to be able to interact with you in the chat and things like that. So you're not gone. You're just not at that particular network because it wasn't right for you at the time. And like you said, who's to say that you're not going to start that back up later on?
Yeah, I mean, I would never put anything to bed totally. It's just one of those things where it was a good time for all of us to kind of spread our wings and fly.
Exactly.
And I have no hard feelings for anybody that was part of BTLN because they're great friends.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I listened to a couple of the shows. I didn't listen to all of them, and then right at the very end, I was just one day I was stayed home and played one. And then played another one. 2 years, and then it kept going. I was like, well, this network is awesome. I mean, just the diverse group of people they had on there, the type of shows, the messages they were getting out. I mean, it was a great thing, and you created that, and that's something that you did. You can hang your head high on about that. So.
Absolutely, and it's one of those things. I got into this. Actually, the paranormal got into me before I got into it.
Right.
I got into this to find answers, to find like-minded individuals. For once in my life, I actually felt, Eric, I felt like I belonged somewhere. I'm not saying anything bad about my family or anything because I love them and they know that and they love me. But it's one of those things where, I'm a football coach because when I do football, I get to forget about every bad thing that is going on in my life, and I get a hammer time and do that. And the paranormal's the same. It's the same drug. I'll just say it's almost like the same drug to channel all this negative crap that you can deal with on a day-to-day basis and channel it in a positive light.
Exactly. I mean, the same way I played football, had scholarships, and then. Just recently, as 2.5 years ago, I got a wild hair up my ass and went and played, I guess you can call it semi-pro football, men's league football in the Kansas City area. It was arena-style football on the outside on a field, 50-yard field. But I'm glad I got that out of my system. I was very sore. My mind thought I was 25, 24. My body was screaming, no, you're not. But yeah, same with the paranormal. I mean, it's the same deal. So that's, in the early 90s, it was taboo. I mean, paranormal was pretty much taboo. You tell somebody this and you're crazy. Some shows kind of started opening up, like sightings started coming around, unsolved mysteries, and you kind of had.
Oh, do you remember sometimes those unsolved mysteries? They used to scare the crap out of me as a kid.
Those were the original ghost shows to me.
Yeah.
I grew up on that stuff. The sightings, the unsolved mysteries, and then there was some other shows I can't think of off the top of my head, but they documented, recreated the hauntings or whatever. Like I'll still remember this one to this day. I think it was a Toys R Us in California that was built on someone's land, and this ghost was haunting it or whatever. I don't know if it's a well-known story or if anybody's listening or if anybody even recognizes that story or not, but that one sticks in my head for some reason. Just some show I used to watch when I was a kid. But going back to that, like even growing up, I could say, like, oh yeah, I watched Ghost Hunters. Oh yeah, I watched this and that. And it was fine to be a fan of the show and stuff like that. But once I started talking about, how much I really enjoyed the paranormal, how much the kind of questions I had and what I wanted to find and what I wanted to do, then I became kind of the outcast a little bit. And, so you kind of keep that stuff kind of balled up. You release a little bit out at a time saying, yeah, it's an interesting field or whatever, but I'm not going to pursue it because of the ridicule that you might face.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I have to put this out there, buddy, because there are far too many times, that we have these ideas, this structure, these techniques that we want to investigate, and do these certain things. And anytime that you do something remotely different, or something that maybe they didn't think of first, you get a lot of ridicule.
Oh yeah,
and that's exactly why, Eric, that I don't consider myself, a normal everyday Joe person in spirituality or the paranormal. I see that, and that's probably why I work with so many different groups, and I do it rather well.
Yeah, and that's the same way kind of with me. I tried starting a group because, I live in Atchison, Kansas, and Atchison plays off the saying that we're the most haunted town in Kansas, if not one of the United States. So in 2012, 2011, I tried starting a group, trying to find like-minded individuals. What I found was people who liked the idea of being part of a group, who did have an interest in the paranormal, but weren't as committed as, say, maybe I was or some of the other people in other groups that I've met. Trying to get them to meet up and do things and, have roles and in the group and things like that, and equipment comes up stolen and missing, and it was just a headache going after group member to group member, and no one's committed. So, to this day, right now, I kind of threw in the towel on the whole group thing. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to hoard myself out. I'm going to do my own thing. When I need help, I got some people I can call to help me out. And then I got people that they do their things, and they call me to help them out. Like, it was the last weekend I was with Apex Paranormal. I don't know have you ever met Apex Paranormal before?
Oh, yeah. I've met everybody involved in Apex Paranormal, and I really love them. You know.
They got a group in Iowa, Apex, Iowa. That's relatively new. The original one's Apex in the Kansas City area. And then they got a new group, like not even a month old, Apex, Kansas. It's Amy Stevens, a guy named Tyson. I can't say his last name. I haven't met the other guy yet, but they're doing great things. And the ones I investigate, with Elijah, Sean, Shannon, Ed. Those guys are great. And their head's not big. Like, listen, this is how we're gonna do this and do that and yada yada. They're in it for the right reasons, and they do great investigations. And it's, and like say they call me on when they have a bigger investigation, or if somebody in their group can't make one or something like that. And then I'm the same way. Whenever I have something, I got people I holler at, and they come help me out.
Well, and I have to throw a special shout out to Allie, because Allie and I are great friends, and we actually are going to continue doing Messages from Heaven, I think, once a month. And
awesome.
I think we're going to start back up in October.
Awesome. Yeah, because I asked her about that, and she's pumped. She has a special gift. And she's still growing it. You know what I mean? She's not even peaked yet. So that's what's amazing about Allie. And she has embraced it, and she's growing it, and it's only up from here for her. but yeah, and I really enjoyed the 11th Messenger, that podcast, and I know for a fact she's excited to keep going there too. So
yeah, and Messages from Heaven, we did one show together. We did it in August, and it was a great show. It was a great show. We're going to continue to do that. I think we're going to probably move that over into a Facebook Live format.
Okay. Yeah, and again, I mean, it would still get its followers and people get out there and watch it. But it was great, and I know she's excited. So, but as we discussed before we had the technical difficulties, so everybody didn't get to hear. You are a psychic medium, paranormal investigator, and you're an author. And we discussed you've wrote 6 books so far. Your first one being in 2014, and like you said, you are right now in the process of writing a few others. The first one you did was the Paranormal Experience, Death Final Frontier. Is that right?
Yes. I actually that book started out to be 2 different books in one.
Mm-hmm. Because you have 2 books sequels after that, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Experiences Within the Light, and then it's not Experience. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's called Experiences Within the Light, and then part 3 is Out of the Darkness and Into the Light, Death Final Frontier. And I call that Death the Saga, and I decided to put all 3 of those books plus an extended version book that kind of talks about some of the relative bigger cases that I've done in the last couple of years. And I put that in the 4th part, and all the books in one. That way, people don't have to go out and say, Chuck, why in the hell are you making me buy 5 or 6 different books? Damn it, come on, man.
Right.
Put it into one format.
Right.
And I did that, and it seems to have gone over really well. So
that's awesome. The one that sticks out to me, the one that like if I go to Amazon right now and buy me a book, I think the one I'm going to buy is the Midwest Paranormal Road Trip.
Yeah, don't go to Amazon and buy it though, folks. Buy it from me because I can sign it.
Oh,
do that. It's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Than what you
So where do we go to buy your books at then, Chuck?
Well, just message me, Charles Anthony.
Okay.
Or you can email me. It's pointofascension1972 at gmail.com.
Point of Ascension
1972 at gmail.com. I'll put it in your link here.
Yeah, put in my link, and then I'll also, when I do this, I'll update that as well too. So yeah, that one for some reason, whether it's a spirit or whatever, that one just sticks out to me. The Midwest Paranormal Road Trip. Kind of describe that one. Is that like what it sounds like? I mean, you literally go on a road trip.
It's 14 different locations.
Oh wow.
Around Iowa and Missouri, and part 1, is basically just subjugated in this area. There's a lot of big namers in there, like the Villisca Axe Murder House, our schoolhouse, Edinburgh Manor, Malvern Manor. But there's also some spots in there that the people probably don't know a whole lot about, but I've had really crazy experiences within it. And how I wrote it, buddy, is as I put in there, basically I give you the history, I give you the location, I give you the contact information. I let you know whether or not it's private property, and you have to get permission to do that. And then I talk about my experiences as well as other historical insight within those locations. So I dive pretty deep.
Well, that's exactly what like paranormal investigators need. I mean, really, if they're going to go look at some place, I mean, that'd be like the paranormal investigator's handbook, basically, right there. Show up, hey, I got this, I know what I need to get in this location, here's the backstory of it and your experience. So have you ever investigated the Elms Resort?
I have not.
Ever been there?
No.
I haven't heard a whole lot about it. I know it has some kind of haunted story with it. I haven't researched it at all. My wife is trying to plan a secret birthday getaway for me this October, and wanted to go there, but we kind of decided against it because even though just having the lure of staying at a haunted hotel, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do anything because it'd be so packed, and I mean, it's not like I can just go there and conduct an investigation. Now, maybe if I had a little bit too many bush lights, I could probably go in there and think I'm conducting an investigation, which, let's be honest.
I wouldn't recommend drinking a lot of Busch Lights and going to some of those locations.
No, 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 no. I mean, there's a difference between liquid courage and being dumb, right there. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially if you are sensitive. I mean, you can get jumped. I mean, and people, I don't know if you don't know what jumped means. It's when a spirit attachment literally locks onto yourself, and you feel almost like hungover, depressed, down. I mean, it's eating at your life force, I guess you could say.
Absolutely, and if you look at the first half of my book,
mm-hmm.
Death the Saga, Paranormal Experiences, Death the Final Frontier, and Experiences from Beyond,
mm-hmm.
Those books kind of talk about the oppressive situation that I was in with a spiritual attachment. So and it talks about all the different modes and methods
mm-hmm.
that I utilized to get rid of that. So and they are very real.
Uh-huh.
It's very serious, and if you think that you have a spiritual attachment and it is nearing oppression or even possession, you need to go out and get help.
Oh yeah.
And I say that wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah, and hopefully if someone's listening that needed to hear that. I mean that's the big point of that message was, because a lot of people don't know it until it's too far down
Mm-hmm.
to the down the road. So with you being a psychic medium, now I know we discussed this. You've known you were different in that realm where you could sense things more than other people for quite a while now, right?
Yeah. I've had a ton of experiences that I would call unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it being seeing my grandfather, whether it be seeing an angel, whether it be seeing Jesus, and I'll throw all those things out there.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, but really I kind of put that stuff away because of the stigma that comes about anytime you say that. I mean, I say it today, Eric, and I'll get like 15 or 16 different people on Facebook that they're the effing keyboard warriors.
Oh man.
That hide behind their screens, and they don't know me. They have no clue who I am personally.
Exactly.
What I do, how I do it, and how many people that I help. So that really doesn't bother me, but it's still that's probably why that it's hard for me to totally come out and admit with to the entire world.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Chuck Banks, the closet media, this crazy stuff, and it does sound crazy, and a lot of times I go through crazy experiences, but I'm not crazy.
What's that?
I am a second individual.
Mm-hmm.
I teach, I coach, I'm raising some great children. I got a grandchild. I have 5 degrees, so
exactly.
I'm not a crazy person.
Yeah, not a lunatic, and that's another thing. You have the paranormal investigation side of it, then you have the psychic medium, sensitive empath side of it, and then when you go to a location or you tell somebody about that, you can tell someone I'm a paranormal investigator. Oh, that's cool. You look for ghosts. I'm a psychic medium, I'm an empath, whatever. Then they start looking at you all sideways and cockeyed, and then they start calling, oh yeah, well, why can't you pick the winning lottery numbers, or why can't you do this and do that? Then you get all those sidebar comments, which makes it harder for other people who might have those abilities. They might not be strong at that moment.
It's like this, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing probably a 67 to 68-year-old female
mm-hmm.
family member of yours
mm-hmm.
that had straight hair, not curly hair, straight hair. I'm seeing white hair, brown eyes, and I'm seeing her in the background. She's kind of frail.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a longer, thinner nose, but it's full. It's not like mine, where
mm-hmm.
it pops out like a butt. It's more full, and I'm seeing a larger ring on her left hand. But it's like it's big. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a huge green looking ring, and I'm seeing her plain as day, and she's standing right behind you, and I'm not sure why this is showing up, but this stuff happens all the time to me.
Right? Yeah. That kind of sounds like my grandma. She had curly hair though, unless she straightened it. So.
Oh, I see like a straight hair, like really thinning though. And it could have been towards the end.
Yeah, true. That's how she's presenting herself. But and so like for me, so you've been developing your abilities for quite some time. Did you go through a slump where you had your abilities and then you kind of locked it away, and then you brought it back to try to regenerate or grow the abilities? Because that's kind of what I think I'm in right now. Is I've had so many paranormal experiences growing up, countless. Couldn't even begin to tell you how many. I mean, I'm talking. It was the norm for me, and then kind of once life got hectic for me. High school, sports, girls, social life, this, choosing where I'm going to college at. Whether my mind got too busy, it just slowed down. But there's always an aspect of it that kept me attached to it. And then now I've had, without even saying anything to anybody, I've had psychic mediums and people come up to me and say, "Oh, you have strong abilities. You need to unleash them. You need to harness them. You need to channel them. You need to grow them." And I'm like, countless times people said it to me, and I'm like, cool. How do I do that without, freaking myself out? Like, is there a YouTube? Obviously there's not a YouTube. There's not a button I can just push on my body to, communicate. Not communicate. And what I found is just being around like-minded individuals, learning from them, feeling the positivity that you guys radiate. Like you and Allie and the others.
I tell you, man, but I go through slumps like everybody else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's, sometimes you just have to throw up your hands and say, you know what, life happens.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the reason why I did what I did, to slow down, push back, was because I needed to take care of myself. Now, that does that sound arrogant, where I'm kind of one-sided towards myself? No. It's not that I don't love everybody, and it's not that I'm not there for anybody that needs me. It's that we get to those points, Eric.
Yeah.
And you're going to notice this too, where you have to take care of yourself and your family and your situation first. But before you can go any further.
Oh, exactly. And I've already experienced that, and I'm trying to find. I guess you can say you're a closet medium. I'm trying to find the happy medium, where I can, focus on this thing, because this is. Nobody's getting paid to do the paranormal investigation. There's people that's getting the big bucks, Zach Baggins and stuff like that. So while other people that I know are friends have hobbies such as dirt track racing, they got the race car, spend X amount of dollars dumping into there to go racing every Friday night during race season. I got the guys who just spend tons of money on fishing equipment and this and that to fish all spring, summer, early fall. This is my hobby. This is what I enjoy. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy paranormal research. I enjoy being in those places. I enjoy feeling the feelings I feel. And like we said earlier, it's when we're together, when with like-minded individuals, nothing else matters. It's just we're connecting on each other. Our energy levels are meshing, and it's a great feeling to know that we're all in that same field together. So. This is what I do. This is my little hobby, and I started. That's why I started Enzone, is to get you on, get other people on, people that I might not even hear about. I'm gonna reach out on Twitter and find somebody in Utah that's a paranormal investigator that I don't know, that you don't know, jump them on, and people who listen here, I might have 3 followers, me, you, and my mom. I don't know, and then we're gonna go like their Twitter page and follow their YouTube, and just. That's going to be my part of the para-unity thing that we all preach, that that nobody wants to. We all preach it, but nobody's ever doing anything about it, I guess you can say.
And, a good friend of mine, Jim Mallard, who runs the Mallard Report.
Oh, yeah.
I had him on my show. We talked about para-unity, and he says, Chuck, there's no such thing as para-unity. There never will be. And he says that there's just too many people that are dead set against that. For whatever reason.
Exactly.
That drives me crazy because the closer we get to finding true evidence that there is an afterlife, and that we're not crazy by when we see these angels and
exactly.
angels, aliens, whatever. Until we band together and really start sharing out this information. That's why I created Death: The Final Frontier Paranormal, was to share every bit of evidence. And you know what? I don't care if somebody thinks it's wacky. If there's nothing there, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't get it. And the people that I would say are against it are the ones who wholeheartedly are preaching para-unity, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They're the ones who are trying to almost shove it down people's throat, but then on this, 2 breaths later, they're going to try to either boost their ego or put somebody down, it's shit. I have people's names I could jump out there, but it just ticks me off that the way that some people work in this deal. But I mean, again, everything we do is a theory-based study.
Sure.
And we're working on true emotions and true feelings. So there shouldn't be any reason to shun or make fun of or belittle anybody. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to do the Sally House tours here in Atchison. So people would come to me with their stories about what happened in the house. I'd have a couple people, one gentleman in particular. His stories were so wild. I mean, by the time I'm sitting there, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because I think he truly believes these things happened. If these things happened, he's on a whole other spectrum of what paranormal is. You know what I mean? We're talking Hollywood type stuff, and I kind of debunked it. Didn't throw him out in the light and say that didn't happen to you. You're crazy, whatever. But I listened to him. I nodded my head. I said, "Wow, that's incredible. This and this and this." I'm not going to go into detail of what he was telling me, but just think of the craziest thing you can think of, and that's probably equal to what he was saying he experienced.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. And that's how I handle my podcast is I let people tell their stories. Do I believe every story that everybody says? Absolutely not.
Right.
But you gotta kind of hear them out and see what happens. Now I want to reply here, Darlene. That's wonderful. She says, "What you do for people is a gift for them, and you should never feel like an obligation. When it does, it can implode you or make you completely withdraw. Always heal yourself, or you can't help anyone else." I totally agree, and I went through. I would say 8 stages of hell, trying to get back, and until I decided to let go of some things, it just kicked me in the butt. But you're right. I mean, it appears that the people that preach for this para-unity thing, or that preach that they, that they're here for, good or whatever.
Right.
They're a lot of times it's BS. Because those are the ones that get out. They do a Facebook Live video where they're ranting and they're yelling at people and doing that sort of stuff, which does no good either.
No.
I prefer to kind of stay in the shadows, stay in the back, and let things happen as they may.
Right. I'm exactly the same way. I want to talk about the Many Faces B&B event that we are going to be at on October 27th. Yeah, October 27th in Decatur, Iowa. Tell me a little bit about that. So, are you one of the people who founded it, started it, initiated it, or did someone?
I am. Death: The Final Frontier Paranormal, which is me.
Yep.
And Short Bus Paranormal, which is Sue and Nick Bashusta and on that great group that they have.
Oh yeah.
We're kind of tag teaming that with Amy Cook, the owner.
Okay.
And I told her, I says, hey, let's do an event. Let's try to raise money for you guys so we can she can continue upkeep on the place, stuff like that, and get the word out, because I had an opportunity to spend about 8 hours there. I've never stayed the night there, which we will do 2 nights, but
oh yeah.
It's an amazing place, and it's it'll be in my next road trip, guaranteed. But
there we go.
I decided to bring in several like-minded individuals whom I love. I like to say that I'm a part of that. Josh Hurd, yourself, Chris Case, David Glitt, Stephanie Hutnick out of the Detroit area paranormal. Maddie from Madison Paranormal. Excited to get her there.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be speaking. It's going to be a lot of fun, and not only are they going to get paranormal investigators, they're going to get a little bit of psychic mediumship type stuff, and then also that aspect that that I like to call aliens and UFO stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I couldn't when you called me up and we had that conversation that night. I was so ecstatic. I was like, did I really just get invited? Like, and I started looking at the lineup. I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? And I had a plan. Was hopefully I was going to go before Josh Hurd and speak. And did I tell you this already?
No.
Yeah. So I was going to go up there and say, hi, my name's Eric Enzone. I co-own and give tours of the Malvern Manor. I also am working. I published some documentaries, a scuffle with evil. Just kind of play off everything he's done, just to see him just kind of like, what is he doing? And then come back like, no, totally, I haven't done any of that stuff.
And it is going to be fun. It is a little bit more pricey than some of the other stuff that you're going to see, but it's $10 if you want to come 12 to 2 and meet us and hang out for a couple hours.
Oh yeah.
Or $75 if you want to do that, and you get the speakers and a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's $100 if you purchase it by October 1st, or $110 after if you want the VIP investigation later on. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And it's really not that bad priced. I mean, compared to looking at what you get in the time period you're going to get with these individuals. I mean, just think the Sally House, for instance. You get that $100 a night per person. You get it from 7 at night to 7 in the morning. I mean, you have a tour guide that comes there, shows you around for 30, 45 minutes, give you a history or whatever. Excuse me, I don't know what to do now. And then you get the whole house to yourself. Well, here, I mean, we're getting the meet and greet all day. Like I said, the food, the discussion panel, the speaking, then the investigation in the evening. And that's a bargain, $100. I mean, really, that's a good deal. I'm just hoping.
We're all going to have our merchandise there, whether it's my books or whether it's documentaries that those guys are bringing and stuff like that. But it'll be fun.
Yeah, might bring some T-shirts. I don't know. We'll see if I can get a. Well, I will say, so my YouTube channel. I just put this on my YouTube channel that I've had. Had some subpar videos on there. I mean, if anyone wants to go check them out, go check them out. If you're going to check anything out besides Enzone show, look at the How to Call a Sasquatch. I'm kind of proud of that. I don't know why. I just like that one. Since last Friday, I have grown, got 33 new subscribers. So that's pretty, to me, I'll take that. I'll take 33 new subscribers since starting this live stream. So it's a pretty good little grow there.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where, the best advice that I ever got was from, a guy by the name of Dan Class. He says, don't worry about numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat. Just worry about trying to change the world one person at a time.
Exactly. That's something I need. That's just something I need to learn in my day-to-day life. Like, whenever I do something, I want to hit it 100 miles an hour and absorb as much as I can. Like, at work, I'm transferring over to a new position. So, like, I just want to know everything right now. And that will never work in any situation, just to think you need to know everything right now. Baby steps, learn. The whole process of learning is failing, really. I mean, learn from your mistakes, learn from that. And that's kind of can caveat off to my abilities type deal is I didn't want to open up to trying to be in a sensitive or medium, because part of me wanted to hit it headstrong and go 100 miles an hour, and that kind of scared the crap out of me. And the part of me was like, no, I don't even want to touch that. I got kids at home. I don't want to bring stuff home. do this and do that and have them susceptible to that. But yeah, like you said, just try to change one person at a time.
Yeah. And anybody that says that they're an expert in the paranormal or they're an expert in spirituality, run.
Just walk the other way. Walk the other way.
Because we are constantly learning. And,
oh yeah.
And that's what I love about it.
Oh yeah. Like I've ran into those people before. There was somebody that was giving out like literally you'd pay for it and you would get a certificate of paranormal investigation or a professional paranormal investigator. Have you heard about that before?
I've heard a little bit.
Something on the internet. I mean, it was something, but I was like, part of me was like, I can't believe they're doing that. And then the second part of me was like, that's probably genius. I guess if they're just looking to make money because someone's dumb enough to do it.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of these different, like psychic awareness certificates, in these classes, which, some of these classes are very good, and they're taught by people that are very eloquent and very knowledgeable. However, you have to be damn careful because truly, as a medium, I do tap in and I do utilize my intuition 100%. And if I think something's not quite right, I'll step away.
Right. And you should. You got that ability for a reason, so you're going to use it. I'm going to take a second real quick to go ahead and thank my unofficial sponsor, Jeep Wrangler, for when you want to do Jeep things, get a Jeep.
Nice. And I'll do my sponsor.
Do your sponsor.
Longhorn Chewing Tobacco.
There we go. Every week I'm going to do an unofficial sponsor. And then I'm going to tag them. I'm going to tag them on YouTube. I'm going to tag them on Twitter. I don't think Jeep Wrangler is going to give me a Jeep. If they did, I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
If they did, you just have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, and I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm fine with that. But what was last week? Last week was Buffalo Trace Bourbon.
Okay.
I got some ideas for a couple weeks from now. Just some dumb random things, but add some fun to it. Some unofficial sponsors.
Okay, the official sponsor of Enzone is Death the Saga. Purchase that baby.
There we go. Death the Saga. Get a hold of him. Email him at pointofasession1972@gmail.com to get your copy today.
Or you can just message me on Facebook.
Yep, message him on Facebook. Anthony. Charles Anthony. He's right there. Can't miss his beautiful face. So, but I think that'll conclude this evening. I mean, anything else you want to say before we go? Any final thoughts?
Well, here's my final thought. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people probably talking to me like I'm talking like Harry Carey. But go with your intuition, folks. And mm-hmm. You know what? If you can't find a good person out there, be one.
Right.
Be one. And you know what? Love one another. Support them. But also don't be afraid to call them out if they need to learn from a particular experience. Don't talk behind their back. Go straight to the owner's mouth and talk about that stuff.
Right.
Take care of yourself.
In a very tactful way. I mean, there's ways of doing it that, don't get in a fight and then be up a YouTube video. But caveat off of you're saying, be the change you wish to see in the world. That's a saying I heard and it struck with me because far too many times it can go within the paranormal and just your everyday life. A lot of turmoil on our news. I mean, my Facebook feed is just full of BS and stuff I'm just not going to jump down and even be a part of.
Eric, that's why I get rid of some of those people that are always promoting the negativity and stuff like that. But I do have to give a special shout out to Darlene Morehouse. I love you, buddy. I appreciate you coming on and listening.
Oh, yeah. She, just from the feedback she's given us tonight and giving you, I mean, great. You can just tell you get the vibe. She's a great person, and she's 100%. Her heart's right in the where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, with that, I want to thank you for joining me on the second episode of Enzone. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm just glad you didn't do it on Friday night, and I hope that my football team can find the end zone. Not the end zone, but the end zone.
Yes, put a D in there and hope they can find it with the... Well, that could have been taken wrong, but we'll just leave it. We'll leave that one there. Yeah, hopefully they can find the end zone. You guys, I heard you didn't fare out too well last week.
No, we've struggled
Hmm.
the opening 2 nights, but we're going to go into tomorrow night, and hopefully we can make some noise.
Hell yeah. Well, let me know how you guys go. There's no. Is there a way to do like live tracking? Do you guys do that at your school? Like,
We actually have a live streaming, but I will have to get you that. I'll get you that link you can
yeah,
listen in.
do that. That'd be interesting there.
Well, about half the game you might throw up, and you'll be like, "Oh, poor Chuck, poor Chuck." But
Yeah. 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 Well, again, thanks for showing up tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we got through those technical difficulties in the beginning. Good luck tomorrow on the football game. Like I said, I'll be rooting for you guys there. Again, get with Charles Anthony on Facebook or email at point of ascension, 1972 at gmail.com. It's in the chat right there. We'll also put it up in the video description.
Tell them you heard it on the End Zone, and I'll sell it to you for $10 plus shipping and handling instead of $15.
There we go. Tell me you found it on the End Zone. That's a hell of a deal right there, guys, and he might sign it for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Don't forget to comment also. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want us to do, what you want me to do, places we could go and investigate. This show will also feature guests, but we also go on topics such as haunted locations. Maybe it's kind of down the true crime rabbit hole a little bit there. Anything weird, odd, and paranormal. That's what we do there. But again, Chuck, thanks for hanging out, and I appreciate it, man.
Hey, anytime, just let me know, and I'll be around.
Awesome. Thanks, Chuck, and thanks, guys, and we will see you later.